First of all, what I'd like to do is I would like us to thank this resort and Wanda for the work that they've done in helping us get everything organized here for this weekend. So thank you very much. So to start the night, we're going to have a couple toasts or roasts. I'm not sure what they're going to be, but I guess we'll find out real soon. But to start the night off, I'm going to ask Terrence and Carla to come up and start with the toast to his mom and the welcome to Pete.
This is the toast to the bride. I also think it's funny she's the MC of her own wedding.
Who asked her anyway?
Yeah.
Terrence doesn't like talking in public, so this is
good.
not easy.
That's why Mom picked me. So it started probably in January. I got a phone call from Mom on my cell, and I thought, well, this is weird. Mom's already made her January phone call to me. Why am I getting another one? What she needed to tell me was that Pete and her were starting to plan the wedding, and she had 3 things she wanted to ask for her sons. The first was to Chris to walk her down the aisle. The second was for Nick to sign. And then she wanted me to give the welcome speech to Pete. And then, as you know, about a month ago, all us family members got an email with details to the wedding. And at that time, I found out I was also giving the toast to the bride. So here we go.
Okay, I'm just going to tell a quick story about a hotel. I thought of you when we were coming to Elkwater, that there's only one hotel here. Because this one time we went to Regina for a wedding of our friends, and we were heading back there, and we were so excited, and Carol was like, don't worry, everyone's staying at the Travelodge South, and we got rooms booked, we're good. Awesome. We go to Regina, call our buddies, meet in a room for a drink, yeah, for sure. Everyone, 7 Oaks. So none of our friends were there, so I said, perfect, we only got one hotel here, we're good. Of the daughter-in-laws, I've been around the longest. And let's get serious. You controlled and raised 3 boys for 18 years, and then you gave up control to Jessica, Sarah, and myself. And not that we control them in any way, but we kind of do when it comes to plans and all that kind of stuff. And Terrence and I have been married for 16 years, Chris and Sarah for 15, and Nick and Jess 11. Correct? Am I right? And obviously you have raised really good sons, and we thank you for them. And you've given them good beliefs and values, and we thank you for giving them to us. I'm not going to cry.
Mom, I could go on up here about your wonderful cooking. I mean, the roast beef roasting in our porch that we lived with. I mean, maybe your favorite or your best meal that we loved was the Shannon's pizza that would show up to the door. The random stories you love to tell us about, well, you know, when Joe did this and Frank is related to this person, and we have no idea who you're talking about, but you love telling those stories to us. He can relate. But you know what, Mom? That's who you are, and that's what we love about you. Pete, you're a lucky guy. You've got a good one there, Mom, with my mom. We love you, Mom. So I'd like everybody to stand up and raise a glass to my mom, to the bride. Here's to you, Mom. Cheers to the bride. Come here, Mom. Yeah.
Peter let himself.
Okay, I'll get back to the original thing I was asked to do tonight. I'd just like to start off by kind of telling you the story of how Pete started showing up in our family. At the start, Mom would just tell us she's going out with a friend, out for supper, going to some shows in Regina, just sharing time with this guy that they had a lot of similar stories in their life and that he was an old friend. And then next time it was time for Mom to tell us that this friend was maybe more than just a friend and maybe a boyfriend, and that they were maybe dating, if you want to call it dating at their age. And this guy's name was Pete. I mean, it was great. Mom was alone for a long time. And I remember telling to Carla, I'm like, Mom is like high school, like a little girl in high school. She's just so in love. Like checking her phone, like, oh, who's that? And see if Pete texted her. And it was so happy to see her like that. She was so happy. She had a new glow to her. She had a new, if you want to call it, look on life. She was just a very happy person. She was love struck. So that was good. This was all just phone calls and texts and emails. But then it was time for us to maybe meet Pete. So they were going to load up his bike on the back of his truck and head down to Phoenix to drop it off. And then on their way back, they were going to stop in Medicine Hat so we could meet Pete. Okay. So they did that. They stayed a couple of nights. We had some drinks and some eats and a good visit. And like Pete told Sydney, and now Sydney likes to say, pizza, nice guy.
Tell a story.
So the little backstory was with that one is Mom and Pete were down in Philly visiting, and I think they went out for lunch with the kids or whatever, and they were asking what they were having, and Sydney said, what are you having? And Pete's like, I'm having pizza.
No, Sydney said she's.
Or Sydney's having pizza. And then Pete said, well, you know what? Pizza, nice guy. And guess what? It was true. Pete is a nice guy. And from that point on, there was no more visits just for Mom. It would be Pete and Carol are coming for a visit, which was great. I mean, it would mean that we'd be able to see Mom in the winter because she actually had a guy that would drive on the roads because she was so nervous about winter driving. Not only did Pete make Mom happy, but with Pete around, it seemed like any event that they were at or that they were going to attend, we would now have several hundred pictures and videos of that event. So it was great, because if you've ever seen my mom's pictures, there's like heads cut off, so it was good. Lots of pictures and videos, and we'd usually end up with a stick or emails of these pictures, and it was awesome. I mean, even if Mom got a little bossy, she'd be like, Pete, send that to Terrence right now. Well, the event was still on, and then like a minute later, I got an email. I mean, that might have just happened at Michaela's grad, just so you know. Tonight, we welcome you to the family, Pete. And it's not because you stopped loving Bonnie or Mom stopped loving Dad. You guys both suffered a loss of a spouse that no one in this room can tell how it feels. You too have felt that pain. And you have found a new love with each other. Mom is lucky to have you, Pete, in her life. You treat her good, and we are very thankful for that. You're good to me and my brothers and to our children. So, to me, my brothers, my wives, our wives, and our children. Sorry.
Forgot us.
The wives.
You're kind of cool to me right now.
But on behalf of the Schultz family, we would like to welcome you to the family. So welcome, Pete.
You are MC.
I forgot to pick who was supposed to be MC, so that's why I'm up here doing this. Okay, so I missed one final detail. Sorry. At this time, we would like to ask the Frostad children to come up and do their toast or roast.
We couldn't tell the difference either.
So obviously me and Greg
Who's
are
first?
toasting and they're roasting. They didn't bring a drink.
Oh yeah, I forgot my drink.
So did I. Can you grab mine?
Oh yeah, I forgot my drink.
Me too, Sid.
Just like Terrence, we're hating this as well.
They're not.
Wasn't this a little low for you, Terrence?
Who's starting us? Are you
We're going
guys?
first?
You guys go.
Okay. This is the toast to the groom. One of his favorite memories with his favorite kid, Sid, is watching Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh, by the way, this is a poem. And it rhymes. One of his favorite memories with his favorite son, Greg, is competing in the game's pentathlon that ends with a golf bag.
One of Dad's favorite memories with his favorite daughter, Jill. Carol, you're saying more than I would. Is motorbiking, quadding, and dirt biking in the Black Hills.
I'm Jody, and I'm the real favorite kid. Well, that's what I'm told when I'm ditched by Greg, Jill, and Sid.
For any of your problems, you do not have to think twice. He's always been the king of unsolicited advice. We have to admit, after all we've been through, Dad's taught us a lot more than a thing or two. Philosophizing by the fire, world problems we've solved, if only in the morning we could remember what was involved. While golfing in the rain, Dad could sing fa la la, except Greg or Sid would steal his umbrella. Once Dad and his friends took us fishing as guests, but Greg, in a closed van, won the farting contest. He's the only one who knew there was a contest, I think.
I started and ended that contest. That was a joke. Okay, is it Clearwater or Clear Lake? At Clear Lake, Manitoba, back in 1990, we all had a laugh when I hit you with a frisbee. Do you remember that? Yeah. Okay, so it went like this. Whack.
Whack.
Greg, who the hell are you playing frisbee with? You, Dad.
Where are we now? Oh, there we
Am
are.
I still up?
Oh, you're still up.
Sorry. They say imitation is flattery in its finest form. 4 kids, moving to Hanley and Estevan, imitation of you is becoming the norm. Thanks for passing down some fine attributes to me. The balding, short-ass legs, and feminine crossing the knee. There we go. Oh, still up. The kids all have a blast, watching you wandering here and there, the wandering grandpa, but as usual, without a single care. Father's Day classics at the Humboldt Golf Club, one of the best times I had with you, bub.
That's a tough one to rhyme.
Yeah, I know.
He's always around when you need a hand, but what he really is best at is being the foreman. All jokes aside, he's a true jack of all trades. He can plumb, redo floors, and even hang shades. He's built a house from scratch, from design to stick frame. He's an amazing carpenter, but it's not his only game. He was an engineer with SAS Power for over 25 years, but retired early so he could have lunch with beers.
When it comes to sports, he's the best at them all, like hockey, golf, billiards, and ball. His latest activities he won't do alone, hanging out with his new squeeze with Strasbourg as home.
For years I've been quoting "So I Married an Axe Murderer," mostly the Colonel filling Dad with laughter. So if we left this out, we would be remiss. In the words of Mike Myers and Dad, let's get pissed! To Dad. Cheers.
Yeah.
Not for you. We didn't do it all summer. Where's Sydney? Where's Sydney? Where's Sydney?
Right here.
Sydney,
Yeah.
this is for you.
You said we could kiss, right?
So we're going to start our welcome to the family with Carol by talking a little bit about things we've learned about Carol. She doesn't like spicy food or cooked carrots.
Carol has been on every board in the history of boards.
Carol does not need any more jewelry.
Carol is exceptionally talented at organizing everything, but makes you think you made all of the decisions yourself.
Carol loves Christmas, and for a while we called her Christmas Carol, but Carl was pretty quick to switch to Grandma Carol.
She can dance, baby.
She's very good at picking a spouse.
And more importantly, an esthetician. She has amazing friends, despite the fact that they called us homely.
Yeah. She loves all of her Schultz grandkids and visits them whenever she can.
She loves hanging around any swimming pool.
And she has been the first of 20 grads for her grandkids.
She has sons that are amazing at picking their spouses.
She'll always get an E for effort in playing cards.
I think that's the roast part.
And now here's some things Carol's learned about us. The more, the merrier.
We are amazing at cornhole
And cards.
and singing if it's past midnight
And parenting if it's before midnight.
and talking loud
And making babies.
and golfing an entire round of golf with a beer in one hand
And gambling.
and gambling
And darts.
and making paralyzers
And drinking paralyzers.
and most of all at being humble.
And we are so happy that she has found Dad and he has found her.
So from all of the Hilderovdi-stads, welcome to the family.
Thank you very much for the toast. At this time, Pete and I have a few things to say. Pete has a lot fewer things to say than I do, but I'll start first. To begin with, we'd like to thank Pastor Lois very much for marrying us today. Pastor Lois goes back a lot of years in my life, and to just say how much she means to me, a couple weeks ago we went out for supper, And Lois gave me this great big photo album. And inside of it is all newspaper clippings and different articles from when she first moved to Strasbourg that had anything to do with me and our family. And it was amazing that she had done that, and how she had said that it was her way of sharing our friendship together. So Pastor Lois, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you have done for me and been there for us. And Gerald, for bringing her here today. Thank you so much. I want to thank all the family members that helped us with things throughout the planning of the wedding and everything like that. I want to thank the Frostad family very much for allowing me to love their dad and their grandpa, and for letting me into your family to be your newfound friend and allowing me to love you people. I want to thank you very much. To my family, Chris and Sarah, Terrence and Carla, Nick and Jess, Michaela, Carter, Layla, Lincoln, Lennox, Jake, Brooke, and Sydney. You have been... Suck it up, right?
I can't read your writing. You're gonna have to.
You have been my love and support, and have tried to keep me sane as you possibly can. And it's worked. I can't thank you enough for all the love and support that you have given me over the years. You guys are the best, and I just thank you so, so much. And thank you for accepting Pete into my life. And to you, Peter, where do I start with you? First of all, that we were friends in high school, and that I got to be good friends with Bonnie and do things on sports teams with her, and that I played for her wedding, and that we were friends throughout the years. And then when we both needed each other for support, and we could understand the hurt that we each had and that what we were missing, you were a very, very dear friend to me. And when you asked me if you could possibly take me out on a date, and I said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe we should wait. So we went out and had supper together, and it was the most amazing time that I had had since Robert had passed away. And I sent Pete a text that night, and I said to him, do you mind if I change my mind and call this a date? Because to me, it was just something that I had no idea could be so beautiful again. So I thank you for thinking that I'm probably a 9.5 girl, I don't know for sure, but and loving me for the person that I am, because I love you for the person that you are. Thank you very much, Peter. Yeah.
Word. I just want to. She said I could have the last word, so I will. Where do you start and where do you end with a story like this? And I don't want to start. And you've hit a lot of the highlights already. And Terrence and Carla, I really appreciate what you said. It's pretty special. A lot of emotions, both good and difficult. We've all gone through over the last couple of years, but now we only have one major emotion. We're just so happy that we have someone to love, and I want to tell you one thing that has sort of been hit on. Carol and I always sense that there's four of us, not just two. We feel the presence of our loved ones, and we it's almost a little weird because we talk to Robert and Bonnie like they're in the room many times, often several times a day, because this is all part of our life, and it's the way we live, and we're very, very happy, and we're really looking forward to our trip together to visit. Taking a page out of my mother. My mother went through this, and she was married when she was 61 for the second time. My dad was an awesome guy, and he died at a young age. 57 seems young to me now. What she did was she had a small wedding, a little bit smaller than this. There was only 4 people there, including those 2. And then they went around and visited everyone. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go around and try to visit as many people as possible, and have a really good time. And so with that, thank you very much. We'll be cutting the cake.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have our first dance. Oh,
Yeah.
and then Carol has got 20 roses to give out to the grandchildren as a keepsake. They don't last very long, so just kind of enjoy them while you can. Roses don't last very long.
You can press them.
You could, yeah. And then we'll have a little bit of dance, and anybody that wants. So it's this is sort of like an open mic dance. So if you've got favorite songs on your phone, just grab the cord and plug them in and rock and roll. We've got a few of the old cheesy numbers to start off with, and then you can go ahead and play all your crappy music if you want to. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful day. Thank you.